Hey y'all. Sorry I'm late again. Oh, hold on. Where did I put my phone? There we go. Hey. I swear, every time I've been doing a live stream the last few times, something has gone wrong. But I'm here now. How are y'all doing? Did y'all cry like I did? Oh man. There we go. Hey everybody. Now I can see the chat too. Kaiwan, I don't understand what you're talking about. Alright, y'all. Welcome to GHMV Reacts. Today we're just talking about today's episode of GH because it was Bobbie's funeral. And, you know, it was a sad one, obviously. Jackie Zeman, you know, she passed away. This is now the time that the show is finally getting to acknowledge it and pay tribute to Jackie and to Bobbie. I mean, the first thing I want to say is it was really good to see Lucas back. Ryan Carnes, I think his name is. I wish that he had said a bit more, but even though he didn't say that much, I feel like out of everyone in the show today, I think he brought me to tears the most because he just seemed so broken. And, you know, after all he's been through, you know, obviously they kind of didn't really touch too much on it, but he clearly doesn't live in Port Charles anymore. He flew in for the funeral from somewhere. Nathan, you said, I thought the funeral wasn't that bad, but not that great either. I know tomorrow the show will continue playing tribute to Bobbie. I just wish they did more. Angel, you said, I had the strangest dream this morning that Sonny, Carly, and Sam were in a throuple. Oh my goodness. Lord. Oh man. Yeah, here's my thoughts. Like, the funeral, I would have liked to there's obviously some things that I would have liked to have seen, and disappointed that we didn't get, but also not surprised we didn't get, because, you know, we didn't get Rick Springfield back as Noah. We didn't get, like, you know, ghostly appearances from Tony or Luke or any of that. Mind you, you know, this is a 2-part tribute to her, so tomorrow it continues on. It seems like tomorrow will mostly kind of focus on what's going on in Amsterdam, and we'll talk about that shortly in a bit here too. Yes, Sam was there. Yeah, Sam was at the funeral. We didn't see her interact with Lucas at all. She was just kind of there with Dante. Dante, Sonny, and Sam went together. But yeah, the funeral itself, I think, well, Laura spoke, Scotty spoke, Carly, of course, spoke. And I think that Laura and Scott gave touching tributes. Is the actor that plays Tony still alive? Yeah, he is. Yeah, he literally did an interview about Jackie after she passed with Michael Fairman, I believe. Oh Lord, Kaiwan. I don't understand why Lucas can't be a regular. Well, if he is a regular, I think he'd have to be played by someone else because Ryan Carnes is doing his own thing now. I think he's in a band, actually. But yeah, he doesn't really want to be on GH at the moment. But yeah, so yeah, I think what was obvious was that I think a lot of the cast was really authentically choking on their lines and tearing up because that's their friend that they're talking about, and they know the history between the characters as well. So Angel, said that the funeral part could have been longer. The trafficking story took up the funeral time. Yeah. So yeah, let's touch on that. So we learn kind of halfway through the episode, almost halfway through, that Bobbie was doing more than just dealing with Luke's affairs there. She had started working for a non-profit in Amsterdam to help people that were victims of human trafficking seek asylum in safe places. And we learned that just before Bobbie died, she was trying to save someone, and she died before she got to. And so Carly and Felicia are on their way to Amsterdam to try and track down Bobbie's contact that was there to basically try and finish what Bobbie started. And for those that don't know, when Bobbie was a teenager, she was a prostitute. Her aunt Ruby kind of, made her work there. I've been good, thanks, Jacarius. Ooh, we'll talk about that in a second, Angel, as well. So that's basically what's happening in tomorrow's episode. Carly and Felicia go into Amsterdam to try and find her contact, and I'm sure it'll get resolved in a day as well. Was that the actress that played BJ? Hold on, is that actually true? Is that the reporter that's with Maxie? Oh, I didn't even. Well, okay. In all fairness, I worked all day. I made it a point to just not go on social media at all. Okay, like I didn't want to be spoiled. My mom, she was messaging me, and I was like, "Do not spoil," because she was at home and she was watching the show. And she tried, but I literally refused to let her. Oh my gosh, that's so cool that was actually the actress. And it's interesting because I forget who did the interview, but someone hinted that fans with keen eyes would recognize a nod to a past storyline of Bobbie's in there, or like someone returning that they were keeping under wraps. That makes sense now, and that's so wicked that they did that. That's so cool. See, I seen an article that talked about these two actresses that were coming on, but I did not read the article. I didn't read it. I didn't want to know who they were or all this stuff. That's so cool that they brought her back. Oh my goodness. Aw, that's actually really cool. I'm gonna tell my mom that in a bit too. That's so cool. I wish I knew that. I mean, no, I'm glad I didn't. It's a nice surprise. But that's so wicked. Now I'm gonna rewatch the episode and see if I mean, obviously she was like a little girl when she played BJ, but that's so cool to know. Thanks, y'all. Oh man. But yeah, so also in tomorrow's episode, we're going to see, I guess, the actress that played BJ interview people that were part of Bobbie's life. And, there's potential for people to return then, but I don't think they will. Because obviously this actress is the surprise that they were keeping under wraps. But that's really cool. But yeah, I just wish that we seen more. I wish that we seen more. For as short as the funeral was, I think that they did an okay job with it. But yeah, much like you guys, I'm sure, I wanted some other returns there. Do you think they're gonna have an interview with the drunk driver that killed BJ? I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Because essentially, Maxie is just introducing this reporter to people whose lives Bobbie affected. And I don't think they've ever really talked about the driver much. Back then or in years, the years to follow. I just think that they're going to probably talk to, yes, people that we know that are probably currently on screen, but also, put random extras in if she ever catered to them as a patient. Or as a nurse, sorry. Who's Kylie? Oh, Carly? I don't know. I don't think so. But yeah, one thing I will say that I wanted more of was more flashbacks. It was cool that they actually used that scene of Alexis and Bobbie talking about Christina's abuse, because I forgot about that. But that was I think that was one of Bobbie's last scenes in the Guza era. And she had been gone for quite some time, and then she just suddenly appeared for that. It's great that they thought of her for that moment. BJ was on the school bus. Yes, she was. Yeah, it was a big bus crash, and BJ was brain dead as a result. But yeah, so I was going somewhere with what I was saying. Now I've lost my train of thought. I wish there was more flashbacks. The show can afford so many things, but not flashbacks. No doubt. I'm glad that they showed a little bit of Bobbie and Felicia talking when Bobbie agreed to give Maxie her heart. I kind of wish we got the iconic moment from that, but at the same time, that scene is so overused, but I never get tired of it, so I don't know, I'm torn. Seems like the people that would have memorable flashbacks aren't on the show. Yeah, but at the same time, we did see pictures of Tony, and we seen pictures of Luke, so I don't know. And probably BJ, since the actress was on there. I didn't get a good look at the board that was at the front of the church, but there were several pictures of Jackie and her co-stars over the years. One flashback that I really wish that they had shown with an actress that's still there is the scenes of Bobbie taking care of Elizabeth after Elizabeth was raped. They've talked about it twice now. We might get it tomorrow because, again, Maxie is talking to people who Bobbie's affected in their life. And it'd be weird if they didn't have Elizabeth among that, because Bobbie was the one that took care of her right after that. And from what I remember of that scene, it was really good because, this was right after what happened to her, Tony Geary ain't never coming back. I mean, I'm not surprised that he's not there, because, if they insinuate that Luke is alive, that would, require Tony to come back to kind of for a story arc, and I don't think he's willing to do that ever. And he's said as much, I think, yes, he cares about Jackie, but I don't know. I think GH writers are in a tough position where they're probably torn between bringing Luke back as a ghost, or if they truly show him as a ghost, then that wipes out the possibility of Luke coming back to life. So I don't know, maybe they're holding out hope that Tony will return, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, the man is retired and living in Amsterdam. Like, I just, I can't fault him for living his own life at this point, The man definitely earned his keep and earned every right to retire, and he clearly was, I feel like he was very resentful towards the end of his tenor of the character, because I think Tony Geary really loves acting, but playing Luke, that's kind of like his one claim to fame, and he never really got fame for anything else, so it's unfortunate. But it is what it is. I think he's moved on and he's retired and he's living his best life in Amsterdam. That's one hell of a place to retire to. What else can I talk about? It might be a short stream, guys, in all honesty. Yeah, like, the reality of this episode was really not a lot happened. The funeral happened. There were no big returns aside from Lucas himself. Lucas and Felix shared one scene, which was actually really sweet. And again, like I said, Ryan Carnes probably moved me the most out of all the people that were there, and I'm surprised by that. Not that I don't think he's a great actor, I think that he is. Two flashbacks, DG. Two. Felicia and Alexis. But again, just a reminder, it's a 2-part tribute to her, so we're bound to get more flashbacks tomorrow. I think he got tired of being constantly recognized. I remember seeing in our interview in his younger years. Yeah. And even when he moved to Amsterdam, or as he was retiring, he really laid out that he loves Amsterdam because he goes there because he doesn't get recognized. So they don't have GH over there. DG, we already talked about that. But no, I actually didn't. The chat told me. The chat told me. I had no idea, and it's because I saw an article about these actresses that were coming on to play these characters, but I didn't read it, so I didn't know. But I'm okay with that. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I mean, how would we recognize her? She was an 8-year-old girl when she was on the show. Yeah. We should see more Felix, I agree. Really, more of the hospital staff in general. But yeah, watching all these old episodes of GH, I see the kind of wild Carly, how they wrote her. You had looked up Brighton years ago, but forgot how she looked like. Oh, okay. It's just one of those things I didn't think about. Like, from the only story I know BJ from is when BJ died in the bus crash, and I know there was like little bits and pieces of flashbacks of her alive before that, but I really didn't see any scenes of her like acting with Jackie and Brad, like, beforehand. I didn't see any of those scenes, so I don't know. I just never thought to look her up. She was just like a child actor to me, and like a throwaway one in my, just from my point of view. Maxie is a heart survivor. Yeah, to that end, I think one thing, and thanks for reminding me, Jacarius, one thing that I did like is Maxie sharing that she has a memory, but to her it doesn't make sense that it's a memory, but she pictures Tony listening to her heart, and as you know, that was kind of the other iconic scene of that story, aside from Felicia's meltdown. The other iconic scene from that story is Tony listening to BJ's heart in Maxie's chest. And Maxie, though she was unconscious and just straight from surgery, she somehow remembers it. Her death is the only story BJ ever really had. Okay, yeah. She got the most airtime right before they killed her off. Oh, well. That's how it goes with the children of soaps. It's sad Lucas is not on the show. Yeah, I really enjoy him as an actor, and he's also just really nice to look at. But yeah, no, it would be nice to have Bobbie's son working at GH to sort of continue the legacy. And, you know, as much as I love Ryan Carnes, if he's not willing to commit to GH, I'd be okay with, like, a recast if they find a good actor to play him. Just to have that legacy continue on GH. I thought Maxie having that memory was very good writing, but I wish they had shown the flashback. I do too. I'm inclined to believe that we're going to get more flashbacks tomorrow. I think they're saving it for the end because they've been promoting this, this tribute as a 2-part episode. And so I think we're going to see the bulk of flashbacks tomorrow. And like we've seen a lot of flashbacks in the promo for this week too. So I think that we are going to see more. Which ones? I don't know. Lulu is in a coma, then Lucky is in Amsterdam. Ooh, imagine if Lucky was her contact. That would be wild. I know it's not going to happen, but that would be wild. Bobbie isn't reunited with Tony. He's in hell for kidnapping Robin and baby Michael. I don't know. I mean... then if that's the case, then BJ's in hell too, because she was the one waiting for him at the end of his life. So I don't know. We saw that Tony saw BJ just before he died, so I don't think he's in hell. Though he did some idiotic stuff, to be sure. Luke is in hell too for raping Laura and killing folk in the mob. Man. I don't know. I think the unfortunate thing is they showed so little of Tony for so many years that we don't really know if he sort of went on the up and up again. I mean, I imagine maybe he did. I mean, some of his last scenes that we've seen of him as Tony was Lucas coming out to him and Tony saying, "Don't let anyone shame you for being gay," and just like giving him a heart-to-heart. And then his final moments with Bobbie while Luke and Lucas were in the room. BJ was just being nice to Tony. Oh man. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that like they just squandered his airtime, and that was, I think, a lot of because of Jill Phelps's horrible leadership on the show. She like pushed the vets out as many times as she could, really killed them off whenever she could too. But Brad Mull did ask for Tony to be killed. Actually, didn't we seen Luke go to hell once? Now that I think about it. We actually seen Luke die and go to hell. At one point. If y'all don't remember that, it was hilarious. Lulu and Logan, which is Scott Baldwin's son, they were married with monstrous kids. Luke was going deaf. I think Lucky was like a rookie cop or something, and Mac was retired. Leslie was like I don't know, Leslie was like a flower child and Disco was back. It was a whole thing, but that was so funny. I forgot about that until you mentioned Luke going to hell. Luke went to his version of heaven first and then hell. Well, I think he thought it was heaven and it turned out to be hell. He thought it was heaven because Sky was there. But she was just being like, actually, you're not. I think we did see him in purgatory, though, because it was like him... what do you call it? Him on trial at a court and I think deciding if he should go to heaven or hell. Yeah, Leslie was a disco queen. It was a funny episode. I loved that episode. I miss Sky too, Angel. Jill Farron Phelps isn't the sole one to blame for the vets being mistreated for the most part. When she had more influence over the show, they were actually shown more often, especially No One. I don't know though, because like some of the cast have shared stories that, you know, she didn't think that people wanted to see old people kissing, so they weren't showing things like Bobbie and Scott's relationship. Like, so I don't know, but it's all hearsay, you know. In his version of hell, he was smoking cigars and singing That's right. You're right. I forgot that he sang My Way. That was. I remember that. I remember that now. It was a brilliant performance. Tony's a great singer. I hope they don't change the name of Kelly's. Thank you. We need to get back to that. So one thing that happened in the episode is that supposedly there was a storm the night before, and the sign that said Kelly's broke in half. And you hope that they don't change the name of Kelly's. I don't know how I feel, because I can, like, you know, do they have a right? You know what I mean? Do they have a right to change it? Jake's is kind of whatever, right? Like, Jake's kind of sort of crept up in the late 80s. And so they changed it to the floating rib, and now the floating rib's gone now too anyway, so that don't even matter. And they named it the floating rib after another staple of Port Charles that existed in the 90s. But I don't remember what happened to OG floating rib. Jill had carte blanche on GH, and she was notorious for benching vets. Yeah, that's what I heard too. And I don't remember if she had her problem when she was pregnant. Jacarius. Surprised Georgie doesn't have a heart defect. She might. We don't know. They just might have not shared that story yet. Cheech was destroyed by Phelps and Franz. Yeah. Bob Goose at the time was obsessed with Sonny. I think he was more obsessed with Jason, to be honest, DG. He got an actor like James Franco on and wrote him to be obsessed with the character of Jason. And Jason was the hero of every storyline, even when it didn't make sense. The only way I would accept a new name for Kelly's is if they changed it to Spencer's. Yeah, I'm torn about that. So I feel like they've really been hitting home about Bobbie's compassion and how Bobbie gives people comfort. So I feel like they'll change. I mean, you're right. They could change it to Spencer's, DG, but I wouldn't be surprised if they changed it to Barbara Jean's or Bobbie's. Hey, me cub. And I only think that because They should call it expansion because Aunt Bobbie bought it from Kelly's in 1983. Do you mean Aunt Ruby? I think Ruby bought it, didn't she? Goose loved The Sopranos and he wanted to pattern GH after that show. He even took a proposal to Franz. Brutal. Brutal. Alright, anyway though. Yeah, I feel like they might change it to Barbara Jean's or Bobbie's. Spencer's is also a possibility too. But yeah, I guess we'll see. And I feel like there is going to be mixed reactions to it. Some people probably just won't care. You know, the younger generation don't even know who the Kellys are. Unless they're, loyal fans that watched old episodes on YouTube like myself. But, Ruby never changed it to Ruby's. Bobbie never changed it to Bobbie's. Carly has the power to do that. But we'll see. As long as it keeps the Spencer legacy. Yeah, that's the thing. Spencer should be honored in some way because I know we got Carly and her kids and the grandkids and all that. But nobody really sees any of them as Spencers, right? Like Carly only really started to embrace the Spencer name in the last year. Really to take a sort of stance that she'll never go back to Sunny and she's her own person now. And I think Carly is proud to be a Spencer. They've really kind of shown that over the past year, even before Bobbie died. But so I don't know. It's hard for me to see them as Spencers because to me the Spencers were Luke, Laura, Bobbie, Lucky, Lulu. Those were the Spencers to me. Off topic, I'm glad Esme got arrested yesterday. Yeah, but she's not gonna, like Dante said, she's not gonna get much. I don't even think she's gonna get jail time. Because she didn't steal anything. She broke a door. At most, they'll get her to do community service and pay for the broken glass, the damages. I only see Luke's kids as Spencers. See, and I feel like that's fair. Even when I think of Lulu and Dante's kids, I don't see them as Spencers either. It's Luke, Laura, Lucky, and Lulu and Bobbie by extension. They sang GH like the Titanic. Esme ain't going nowhere, and this will make her bitter, and Ava will be sorry in the future. Yeah, Esme's gonna get revenge on Ava, but I'm actually someone said this, and I think this is a possibility too. Someone, and I probably read it on Soap Central or something, but someone mentioned that maybe Nicholas will learn that Ava pressed charges against Esme, and he's probably going to convince her to drop the charges so that they could do their other plan instead. Because why have that whole ass conversation if nothing's going to come of it? I get Esme fingerprints and stuff when she gets busted for other craps, hopefully. Oh, that's true. Cheech became the Sunny and Carly hour under McTavish. Ava can handle Esme, plus Ava and Nicholas are working together. Doesn't mean that Esme's not gonna, get vengeance in some way. need to get back into GH, honestly. Oh, man. Time will tell, DG. I think that in some ways she'll probably pay for it because she's like... Esme is not so great at keeping her cool. And I think that's going to be her downfall. Not to say that she won't... that she's going to get a hard sentence for the sex tape thing. But like... you know... and or if they do, like if she goes to jail for it, like she's going to be on the show still. She'll just be having storylines in jail. Or like Heather will break her out or some, you know, crazy shit. We'll see. We'll see. Need to get back into GH, honestly. Yeah, like it's not been the most interesting lately. DG's kind of right, but I'm hoping since they're wrapping up a lot of these storylines that we'll get new ones and that they're hopefully more fresh. You know, the Nina stuff is out in the open now. They've addressed Bobbie's death. Esme's got her memory back. Ned's got his memories back. The truth is all out there. Like, there's a lot that's been wrapped up. And so it's giving GH the opportunity to create new, fresh stories. And I'm hoping that they do. Am I like super hopeful? No. But I'm hoping. Esme's going to jail the day Sunny does. Listen, if we relied on like the accuracy of Sunny going to jail, like Sunny's been in jail too and had storylines in there for a few months, just a few months. But that's what I'm saying. Like if Esme goes to jail, it'll be for a few months and she'll have a storyline in there. That's all I'm saying. You know, they've had several characters stay on the canvas and be in jail. But time will tell. I just think that Esme's gonna lose her cool and it's gonna come out that she doesn't have her memory because she's even now she's not doing a great job at selling it. Ava don't even buy it anymore. Dex hasn't been exposed. He and Michael trying to take Sunny down. That they'll probably forever keep under wraps, to be honest. It is what it is. I hope it does come out, but I don't think it will. Sunny should be in jail for life, but that ain't gonna happen. Yeah, but they try to write him as a guy, as a mobster with a heart of gold. They ain't giving Esme that writing. That's the difference. Wait until Esme's mom, Heather, finds out that Ava pressed charges on her daughter. She'll probably sneak out again to go after Ava. She might go after her as the hook again. Esme has her memory back, but nobody knows yet except us. Well, Heather knows. But no, she's gonna have a hard time hiding it. Like, if Spencer and Trina go to Paris, then there's probably less of a chance for it to come out. But all someone has to do is, like, cop her giving them the angry cry stare and holding her fist like the Arthur meme, just like the other week. It doesn't care if she remembers her or not. She just wants to be a bitch to her. Yeah, but I don't know. I think you're giving Esme too much credit in terms of how smart she is. She's not that smart. She's very impulsive, just like Heather, and that's why Heather always constantly gets caught. And she's her mother's daughter. And like, listen, DG, you know I'm with you. I think Avery Pohl is very talented, but I think you're overestimating Esme's ability to get away with stuff. Because through all the times that Esme was scheming when she did have her memories, no one for a second believed she wasn't guilty. Like, you know what I mean? Spencer knew the entire time. Trina, Jocelyn, they all knew. They all knew. Laura has got to confront Sunny about beating up her brother and landing him in the hospital. That's true. Well, yeah, I don't think they're going to write her in a corner, but, like, also, like, I don't think they're going to make her do as crazy of things that she once did. But they will probably, you know, put her in jail at some point. But, you know, she'll play the long game and probably act really nice in prison and get out. Cyrus did it. They believed she was guilty, but they couldn't prove it. No, Spencer technically did prove it, but then she didn't remember. Spencer found the letters and found, like, the pills and everything, so Spencer just had to play the long game. Laura's being written so poorly. Yeah, they really are. I'm hating the writing for Laura right now. But yeah. One thing I do want to say about this funeral episode too, since I kind of want to bring it back to that topic. I'm really glad that they didn't bring other storylines into it. Like, I'm glad they didn't have, like, Nina show up or something, or that they didn't have Laura and Sunny interact and talk about what happened. And while Tracy and Lucy did kind of have a moment there, they just were like, let's make this day for Bobbie. We can continue our, you know, vendetta against each other tomorrow. Like, and that was that. And I think that was very, very good and very respectful of the writers to just put everything on hold and just, you know, and just continue on. Oh, hey SLJ, good to see ya. Oh man. But yeah, I'm excited to watch whatever tomorrow's episode brings as well. I probably won't be able to watch it till much later tomorrow night, but sorry, I had a notification. But I'm excited to see it. I want to see how this Amsterdam thing tracks out. And I'm hoping we get, you know, like a nice emotional ending. I did, like I said, there were definitely moments where I cried in today's episode. It kind of hit me hard, I think, a bit, because, you know, when Jackie passed away, like, I think, like, the day after Jackie's passed away, we found out we had to put my dog down, so it all kind of, like, connects together. And, like, the day before Jackie died, or the day Jackie died, I had watched my friend's funeral. So, yeah, it's a lot, you know? All that stuff came back, and then, you know, just thinking about loss, and, you know, there's some realism in it for me. And also because I adore Jackie. And I was just as crushed watching, you know, or finding out the news, and I cried in real life for Jackie. So, you know, there's a lot of it just kind of came up for me. Okay, well, I'm just you know, I'm holding out because I know that there's a part 2 tomorrow, so we'll see if they can bring it. So far, like, if I were to compare, like, I mean, obviously the last funeral that we had for a real person was Sonia Eddy, and before that, Ian Buchanan. Not Ian Buchanan. What am I saying? Oh my gosh. John Riley. Sorry, I had Duke in my head, y'all. And so far out of the 3, I think Sonia's was definitely the most emotional. Probably because they were able to address it a lot more quickly, and because she was really finally getting a storyline and died suddenly. I watched the saddest things to happen on soap operas on the YouTube channel Ms. Mojo. Oh, Ms. Mojo. Every now and then I'll watch her lists. But yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, DG. I had Duke on the brain. Yeah, that was my bad. No, Ian Buchanan's alive, guys. It's fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, so far Sonia's episode was the most fitting. If I compare to like funerals done for actors in years past as well, I would say probably the most well done one for me was probably Mary May Ward's, because I think that they did a good job at bringing a lot of the actresses' friends onto the show and made it such like a celebration of life, and, like very fitting for the character and the actress. But runner-up easily goes to Lila's, because hello, Lila, and they got to use all the flashbacks of all the various actors that played Edward, and it was really a fitting tribute to Anna Lee, and they had brought back a lot of characters, including Robin and Lee and Gale. Like, there was a lot of people that returned for Anna Lee. Oh, yeah, I think I'll pass on seeing Possession. Man, I'm sure, I mean, every soap has done something ridiculous, you know? We had Aliens on GH, so... And, you know, Weather Machines. People thought Port Charles was strange because of vampires and angels. Even without the angels and vampires, like, GH still had a weather machine and an alien, so... Annalee's death was even worse because Jill fired her. Yeah, that was brutal. That was truly brutal. They had Brooklyn singing at her funeral too, I remembered. R.I.P. Singing Brooklyn. I know the actress that sang did not die, okay? Adrienne Leon. I do miss her. I don't mind Amanda's portrayal though. Delia was kidnapped by an ape she befriended at the zoo. Really? Delia is like Ava's mom, right? That Delia? Because I know Ava's mom was on Ryan's Hope, right? Adrienne Leon was playing Brooklyn then. I didn't realize that she could sing. I mean, I think they casted her because she could. Because I think one of her first storylines as, like, teenage Brooklyn was, like, her singing career, was it not? Man. Well, alright, guys. I don't have a whole lot more to say, to be honest. So I think we will end the stream here. By the way, in case you weren't here for the last live stream, We talked about changing the times for the live streams starting this Sunday. So I'll be on an hour earlier from here on out. I can't recall. Was it you that suggested it, DG? I feel like it was you, right? But we are gonna actually live stream earlier now. Just because I know it is late for a lot of y'all, and also it's gonna help me. I'll be frank, it's gonna help me get to bed earlier, and I'm trying to. Yes, I am changing the time, an hour earlier. But yeah, it's gonna help me go to bed earlier, and it's gonna help you guys go to bed earlier, I'd hope. And yeah, and I'm okay to do it. Although, as a heads up, I don't know when, but there might be a few Sundays where I'm not going to be able to live stream in the next few months here. Not like every single Sunday. I'll be on, most Sundays, I think. It just depends. Reason being is that if I didn't keep you guys posted, I now have a band. I have a band, you guys. But the only time that we can practice is Sundays, most likely in the evenings, because of the jam space that we're going to be using. But don't worry, it's not going to be this Sunday. First of all, this Sunday, it's going to be in the evening, -41 in my town. January is here and it came with a vengeance. Winter is here and it came with a vengeance. It is currently -25 tonight. It is 25 below zero, y'all. And it's going to be 41 below zero on Sunday. Or Saturday. This weekend. It's going to be freezing cold. 30 minutes to midnight would be a great name for a band. Oh, thanks, y'all. Dion and the Riff Raff. Nah, honestly, for where I am performing, I am, I'm going with what's on my handle, which is Dion Gabriel. It's just, I'm having a band behind me, like most artists do. No band name for me, and only because really, they're my band for this show, that's coming up, but they're also all in their own bands, What's your band name? It's literally just Dion Gabriel, just the same thing that I am on Spotify. I'm Dion Gabriel. I just have a band behind me. That's all. Beyonce has a band, but she's not called Beyonce and the Riff Raps. Every artist has a band behind them. Doesn't mean that there's going to be a band name. I'm just Dion Gabriel. Just like on here, just like on Spotify and iTunes and all that stuff. And like I said, they're just my band for this show. They all, actually, my bass player is in I can't even count how many bands he's in. He's in so many. And I'm not going to add another one to his roster. And then, my drummer is in his own band. And, my guitarist is also doing his own thing. Selena Gomez in the Scene. Well, she dropped the Scene though, but Selena still had a band when she dropped the Scene. I'm just Dion Gabriel, and I have a band behind me. That's literally what it is. What does that kind of cold feel like? Well, to put things in perspective, on my walk to work today, because I work really close to my house, my beard froze in the time that I walked from my house to my job, and it's a 5-minute walk. My beard was frozen white and soaked by the time I walked into a building. So -41 is the kind of weather you don't want to feel, and I don't plan to because I don't want to leave my house that day. Yeah, you don't feel that kind of cold. You just get frostbite. Yeah, I was pretty bundled up. I wasn't wearing a scarf, but I had my two and it's like a furry toque, like kind of wrapped as close around my face as I could, and my face still hurt. Okay, my whole face hurt on my walk home tonight. Yeah, it is brutal, DG. It is not fun. It is not fun, this weather. Yeah. Stay safe and warm. I plan to. Thankfully, well, I mean, I do work tomorrow, the next day, and it is gonna be just as cold these next 2 days as it will be on Saturday, as it was tonight. Sorry, but not as cold as it will be on Saturday and Sunday. So I don't think I'm gonna go anywhere. But anyway, I am gonna let you go because people will be blowing up my phone right now. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning into the live stream. If you liked the live stream, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you this Sunday, an hour earlier than usual. So remember that. Obviously, I'll post a notification too. 8:30 Mountain Time, my time, whatever that is in your time. All right. Have a good night. Mwah.